train service to Branch Avenue by way of downtown Washington, D.C. Next station, College Park, University of Maryland. On the board, welcome aboard. Stand by, stand clear, doors closed.
No, 10 o'clock. Or, yeah, 9 o'clock.
9?
No, 10.
10, okay.
Wait, let me see. Because I have the website right here. I don't think anything started. 10. Yeah, nothing until 10 o'clock. So you were the first one. Although, like, here's the entry list, right? Junior group documentaries. 1 page. 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 4 rooms, 5 rooms, 6 rooms, 7 rooms. 8 rooms, 9 rooms, 10 rooms, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many is in each room? How many what? In each room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 200.
Hello.
Hi, Anya. Good to see you.
Hello.
Johnson.
Charlie Johnson. I just wanted to wish you good luck. Is it okay if I come in and watch, or Yes. is it going to make you nervous? No, it's fine. Awesome. Do you mind if I take a photo? Sure. Okay. These are the strangest little desks I've ever seen. I know.
I just wanted to make sure I told her yes.
Yes.
Plus I saw people.
Yeah, you can come in, yeah, just in between, yeah. Yeah.
Doors closed.
Yeah,
Principal meeting, I
You're
forget what
trying
they call
you're trying
it,
to
in
be
the
10
summer.
minutes,
And I almost wondered if a good strategy would be to
Yeah.
have
Well, we can imagine
a
that,
this was a lot of
yeah.
first
Yeah.
year doing
Right now,
the
we're thinking about
program and
sound.
have them brag about I'm in the zone. Like,
so,
my maybe show us project.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have much silent film,
Like,
so
getting
it's
her
kind of a
because she
problem.
graduated from school and then
Yeah.
she gets super
Yeah.
I think your video just didn't have sound.
Okay, hilarious.
Press laptop, then projector, because that's where you want it.
Laptop projector, okay. Okay, cool. All right.
Got it.
Thank you very much. We will let an adult know
Okay,
if you
it
have any
works.
questions.
You can also push this button for help.
Oh, this is, oh, cool.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, excellent. I didn't know about that. All right, cool. Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah, I've got it.
Have some cell phones, no photos unless the presenter or presenters are.
Because he had conflicting plans, but he is currently on a flight to be here. So he tried his best to get here. So he is on the way, but he worked very hard with me to bring you this video. So and press buttons.
Yeah, we can get started whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Let her rip.
Since the beginning of humanity, war has been a constant, filled with gruesome bloodshed, battle, and terror. Overnight bestseller. He then embarked on a speaking tour across the United States and Canada, educating and shaping public opinion until his story finally gained recognition. Companion book. Megan Felt, one of the original performers, now directs the Life in a Jar program at the Lowell Milken Center for Unsung Heroes and provided new insights into Irena's life in our interview with her.
But to realize the impact still continues all of these years later because of the children she rescued and their children and their grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. What kind of difference are these children making because Irena Sendler took a stand?
Jan Karski also contributed in a different but equally lasting way with the lesson of Jan Karski and the Jan Karski Educational Foundation all continue to educate students on perseverance and moral courage, driving reform towards a better world. He was also posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012, further reflecting his lasting impact. Karski and Irena Sendler remind us that even in the darkest corners of history, a single individual can defy evil, proving that saving one life is equivalent to saving the entire world.
You've taken something that is a very difficult, part of our history, but you treat it with so much sensitivity. Your research has been great. So again, great job.
Thank you very much.
So let's start with something simple. You mentioned in your process paper that you wanted to focus on this part of history,
Yes.
and you did look at a lot of figures whose stories you wanted to tell.
Yes.
So how did you end up picking them?
Okay, very good question. So we wanted to focus on the Holocaust because we knew it was, we all had Holocaust education before, we all knew about it, but did we really know about those small stories, like Jan Karski's and Irena Sendler's? That's what we wanted to find out. So we did some research and we found different figures like Witold Pilecki and also the Warsaw Zoo, which was owned by this family that helped hide Jews in their zoo. We looked at a bunch of different stories, but what ultimately led us to decide on this story was just the impact that we had and they had and the personal connection we felt to them. Because I am Polish, I go to Polish school, and in my history lesson, we really briefly talked about them, and I was bringing this up, and we realized that we wanted to find more about these people and who they were because of what we heard that they did and how they didn't get the recognition they deserve.
You've definitely done a fantastic job covering this story.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, these particular two individuals, was there any specific motivation of why you selected these two and why did you decide to combine them into
Why we
one?
decided to
Yeah,
combine
are they linked in any way, or what's,
Yes, we did mention how they were linked in the video. So both Irena Sendler and Jan Karski have their own awards presented by foundations, and we mentioned how Irena Sendler got the Jan Karski Educational Foundation Eagle Award because of their actions and how they lived in parallel lives. For why we decided to do both, it was really just because we felt that both of their stories were so valuable and we needed to show both their stories, not just one.
Well, thank you very much.
Ultimately, this whole project for everyone is something with growth. What do you think your biggest area of growth was over the course of making this?
Over the course of making this, I will say the area of growth over making this was just really knowing how to do the annotated bibliography, because as you can see, the 3 to 70 pages, that's a lot. And originally we were a little lost. Wow, we have this source, now we have to add all of this. But as we continued on, we realized, well, this is what this is about. We need to find these sources, we need to find these primary, secondary documents, images, interviews. We need to find these sources to bring the story to life and really make a source of its own.
Was there, and I'm glad that you mentioned your bibliography because it was quite detailed. It's clear that you've added more to it. What's something that surprised you perhaps when you were doing your research? Was there new information that came to light that you didn't know, didn't expect?
Yeah. So this really connects to the Life in a Jar project that we mentioned. What surprised us was really how unknown their story was. Because the Life in a Jar project, as we talked about, they like made all of this, and really one of our main sources was Life in a Jar project, the Young Cassie Educational Foundation. So for us, it was really just a surprise on how many stories there are that are untold that need to be told. Because this is a story about not Irena Sender, not Young Cassie. It's about two people who risked their lives to save another human life.
Great answer.
Yeah, so the first interview, you had 3 interviews? Well, you had the first interview clip, the last one shows, it does a plug with one in the middle. How'd you find that interview?
The one in the middle, is that,
The second one, the lady speaking Polish? Is that-
Irena Sender
Yeah.
herself.
No, the second one.
The second one.
Wait,
Oh,
the
my
teacher.
history day teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay, so yeah.
My history day teacher. Okay, so that my history day teacher, when we first were introduced to this topic, I reached out to her because I initially brought up the idea of we gotta get this interview, because interviews, it's a person talking to a person. It's when you get those stories. That's how stories get passed on through generations. You talk to people and then they talk to their children and so on. So I really wanted to do an interview with someone I knew well. She's my Polish teacher.
Okay, gotcha.
My Polish history teacher, and she knew a lot about Young Karski and Irena Sender through her education and her research
Okay,
herself.
gotcha.
So I pitched the idea to Ramon, and we were like, yes, this is very important to get a secondary interview in our project to be able to talk about Irena Sender and Young Karski through someone we know.
Gotcha, so you just know her personally.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Alright, cool.
it's a long answer.
No,
Any other questions?
Is there something you couldn't fit in that you would like to fit into this?
Okay, I will say this, you cannot limit what they did to a time limit. We had a 10-minute time limit. If you could, you can make 10 times longer. You can make documentaries about everyone and still run out of time if there's a limit. What we really wanted to maybe add was just more emphasis on maybe the human life, because that's what they did. The human life is so valuable. It's what they did they risked their own lives to help us when no one demanded of them to do it. That's really a hard thing to choose to do and actually do, like Irena Sender and Young Karski, but I would say that there cannot be a time limit on projects like these that show what is happening in history, because without history, there's no tomorrow.
I just want to, so you said you use Google Vids, how'd that help
Google
you with
Videos,
your
okay.
editing? And
Yes, so Google Videos is just it's just one of the Google editing platforms. So it's a video editing platform, and it worked well for us because we had experience from past projects with it. And also it worked very similar to Google Slides because of Google, and we were able to really find a lot of transitions and captions and a lot of that to help bring the project together.
Again, I want to go back to your research because it is definitely really thorough. Can you give me an insight into what your research process looked like? You know, you've clearly accumulated a lot, but yes, how did you go about finding a lot of your primary sources, for instance?
A lot of our primary sources. So initially when we just were researching different topics, we came across Irena Sender and Young Karski, and the first sources that popped up was the Life in a Jar Foundation, because there's the Irena Sender project, and then the Young Karski Educational Foundation. Mm-hmm. And through them, they gave us a lot of primary sources because they had those primary images of them, documents, and a lot of that. So we really used those as our base for that, and then we went deeper into the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, and the National Archives, and a bunch of different sources that gave images and documents that was necessary to make this project. And I would say that after we found out that we're going to nationals, we really decided to dig deeper into more, and we got into contact with Megan Felton, the interview that you saw. And since she knew Irena Sender personally, she was able to give us so many primary sources just to give to our documentary.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good, yeah, good.
I think that's it.
Yep.
Again, great job.
Thank you very much.
really comfortable. You see 2 chairs in it. Sit next to each other. Can't go anywhere else.
roughly 4.5 city blocks got hurt. One more trooped out.
Hold on.
He sent me.